last night on the North Rim, it got down into the low 20s and it was really windy, which is really pushing the limits of what our gear can do. But luckily, we found a heated bathroom that was unlocked. So we may have stayed in there last night. Sorry if you're a park ranger or something and you're hearing this. But yeah, just felt like it was way too cold. So we got a really early start this morning because we didn't want to get caught coming out of the bathroom or somebody checking on it to clean it or something. So we were hiking well before 5. Our goal today is to do close to 30 miles and make it to a cabin that we can sleep in because it's going to be cold again tonight. We'll still be at high elevation. Then after that, we'll drop back down into the Grand Canyon, get a little lower elevation, and we shouldn't have too many more cold nights for the rest of this trip, hopefully. I couldn't really get good footage of it, but I just saw some wild buffalo, which is incredible. I was really hoping I'd get to see them on this trip, and I'm so excited that I actually got to. And there's really only 2 places on the HAYDUKE where you could see them, would be the Henrys, which we obviously didn't see any there, or the North Rim of the Grand Canyon, which is where we are now. And I just saw probably about 4 of them kind of run through the forest. Yeah, they were too far to get a good shot of them, but man, that's so cool.
Oh my God, it is all babies. It's the babies.
Guess who I just found? What's up? It's Jack.
Hello. Good bedtime story. Okay, cool. Okay, once upon a time, there was a man named Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson who was born in Hayward, California, but then grew up in Hawaii and moved to Florida. And he came from a long line of professional wrestling family members. His father was Rocky Maivia, and his great-grandfather was Chief Peter Maivia of the legendary Anoa'i tribe, who was also a professional wrestling family. He went to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, went to play football in Florida, but didn't make it into the big leagues, played in the Canadian Football League for a while, then eventually went into the family business of professional wrestling. He started off under the name Rocky Maivia as an homage to both his father and his grandfather. And he was initially universally hated. People just fucking hated him for some reason. I don't really know why. Maybe it's because he was just a baby-face goody two-shoes. People would chant, "Die, Rocky, die." It was very sad. But then he had some decent feuds as a babyface. Won the Intercontinental Championship. And then eventually he kind of turned heel, which means he turned into a bad guy. Well, he joined the Nation of Domination for a while too, which was a sort of a African Black Power group that was pretty awesome. And then he became sort of the figure that we know him as, the Great One, the People's Champ. Started raising his eyebrow, and that's what kind of really won him over started wearing $700 shirts and sunglasses, and became sort of the person that we kind of know today.
We had two kind of endurance heavy long days in a row with going rim to rim on the Grand Canyon, and then we did a 30-mile day, get to that little cabin last night where we met up with Jack again, and also Rowan, who we had seen briefly earlier in the trip but haven't had a chance to hike with yet. So we've got a little group going today, and the HAYDUKE has given us a little diversity because yesterday, or the last couple days, yeah, they were just big mile days, and today's Saddle Canyon, which is supposed to be one of the more technical days on trail. It starts out with this really thorny bushwhack that I'm doing right now with lots of deadfall, and then we get to a canyon that has a lot of technical plunge pools and pour off down climbs, which I'm pretty excited for. But yeah, we did 30 miles yesterday, and we're only expecting to do between like 7 and 10 today. That's just that's how the HAYDUKE has been so far. Seems like you're either doing something really technical or you're walking on Jeep road where you can just crush miles out. And there's not a whole lot in between. Aww. Now kiss. The traverse was easy. Why did it freak you out? Rowan with some wild moves to avoid wet feet. Cowabunga dudes. Woo!
Go hands! Go hands!
Come on, get in. Get in. All the way in. lichen that I had such a strong bond to on the Arizona Trail is back. I don't know why, but I really love this stuff. Today's been super incredible and really checked all the boxes for what I was expecting on the HAYDUKE. We started off the day in that cabin and we did a really gnarly bushwhack down the Saddle Canyon, which had a bunch of technical climbing and traverses and some cool pour-offs that we went down like water slides. Then we got to Tapeats Creek, which was this beautiful blue creek that was really powerful. We had to cross a bunch of times. It felt really sketchy and fun. Then we started climbing up from that along this beautiful waterfall that you might be able to see back there. And when we were stopped to eat dinner, bighorn sheep was hanging out near us and walked pretty close to us. So just a lot of really special stuff today. we've been hiking along beautiful Kanab Creek in this gorgeous canyon all day with lots of fresh blue water and swimming holes and shade, little friendly fish, and we've got just another couple miles of this and we're gonna pop out into Hack Canyon, which is dry, no water for over 30 miles, or around 30 miles at least, and sandy and hot probably. I think it's gonna be really exposed up there. And yeah, we'll be leaving the Grand Canyon. The last few days have been really nice, but it's back to the hot, exposed, sandy washes after this. After leaving the Grand Canyon, we're back to some long dirt road walks. Stretching out behind me. This area is just very flat and exposed, pretty hot. But let's see. Yeah, yesterday we hiked out of Hack Canyon, did a big 30-mile day, picked up our cache along the way. We're getting pretty close to Zion, which is the end, but we decided we're gonna, this afternoon, hitchhike into a town called Hurricane, just because it's been a long time since we've had a chance to do laundry and shower and all that, and we've had some pretty tough days. The Grand Canyon was brutal, but totally worth it, really rewarding. But some of the hardest hiking I've done. We had just for context, we normally do between like 25 and 30 miles a day. Hike kind of between 2.5 and 3.5 miles per hour. And some of those days in the Grand Canyon, we were doing like 10-mile days, hiking like 1 mile per hour, just because the terrain was so tough. But the scenery was awesome.